Good evening everyone and welcome along to FRL. We are here on F1 2021. It is of course F1, it's season 14, round number 4 of the championship as we take on the Azerbaijan Grand Prix even from the Baku Street Circuit. My name is James Hay, good to be taking you through the stream as always. FRL Oliver will be joining me very shortly. He's just finishing off his dinner right at this moment in time. I'm going to let him eat before we get introduced of course in qualifying. Of course to take you through of course what happened last week in Imola. It was a very dramatic Imola Grand Prix as well. Lou took the win, however he didn't take the championship lead. I'll come on to that in a second. Baraka finished in second. The Spaniard drove very well, I've got to say, last week. And Ruti Hullet, of course, he's recently been promoted to League of Europe Division 1. He is in third on he finished third last week and he's also in third in the standings. But it is Jensen with that fastest lap point leading the way on 41 points. Lou there in second on 40. Ruti Hullet in third on 39. Yes, that is 2 points separating the top three even at this early stage in the championship, and it comes to show how inconsistent some of the driving has actually been in terms of the actual points coming into tonight. Barak in fourth on 30 points, Ryan in fifth on 26, Kazizel in sixth on 25, Tom in seventh along with MedTC on 20 points, Montana in ninth on 18. He makes his comeback tonight in the Mercedes, and Yona in 10th on 13 points. Running through the rest of the point scorers as well, Petovol in 11th, Calamer in 12th, Physical 13th, Bunty 14th, Davidenko in 15th, Mentos and T-Hawk are the only other two drivers in 16th and 17th who have picked up points so far this season. Running you through the Constructors standings as well, and I'll get them up in just a second. It is Haas leading the Constructors, a bit like real life, isn't it, with Haas leading the way, 43 points of course with that 1-2 last week, which was brilliant. They're leading on 70 points, Alpine in second on 49 points, AlphaTauri in third on 45, McLaren in fourth on 40, Aston Martin in fifth on 28, then it's Mercedes and Ferrari tied on 6 on 20 points, Alfa Romeo in 8th on 18, Williams in 9th on 13, and Red Bull in 10th on 2 points. And as you can hear probably in the background, my co-commentator is back alongside me, which is good to see. And obviously Oliver, running through the standings there, as I was alluding to there, the top three are separated by only 2 points, and that just comes to show how mixed up I think the grid has actually been this season so far.
Definitely, for sure, James. And yeah, it's very good to see that, luckily, that Jensen had saved his championship. Like, with Imola, it was very, very drastic, and it just did not go anywhere with it. And believe with Bunty as well, he did get, not in once, but twice in between of Jensen. And that also gave him, I believe, like some sort of penalty points, and more of them rack up. They will probably just be doing quali bans and everything. But if I try and get my breath on too, sorry, I'm just rushed all my tea down and all that. Probably not a part of it. Oh, sorry about that. Pardon. Like I say though, with Jensen leading the championship by 1 point, and Lou in second place in the championship, behind him by 1 point, and Rudiger behind by a separate point. So although we've only done 3 rounds, it's already getting too close, and we can't even say who's going to be a world champion just yet, because the fact that everyone is just literally trying to push it to their limit, but they push too hard, they're going to end themselves into the barriers. And here we are at Azerbaijan in Baku, the streets of Baku, where all you see is barriers. So it's going to be very challenging for near enough all the competitors today.
It's going to be really challenging, I think, out on track. This is the track, by the way, if you didn't see in the Discord, that I try to go around the outside of TTG Honey Badger on, around the outside of the castle section, albeit, yes, and this is why I'm now in the commentary box and now not on track, which I think for everyone is probably the best place to be coming into tonight's race here in Azerbaijan. Of course, Azerbaijan, I think it's now the 3rd longest track on the F1 calendar, of course, behind both Jeddah and, of course, Belgium, which is the longest track on the F1 calendar. 6 kilometres in length, 3.7 miles, 20 turns awaiting our drivers out on track. 2 DRS zones, one down the long kilometre straight down in towards turn number 1 and one down in towards turn number 3. Hopefully, though, we're going to be seeing some really good overtaking and not the drama and the controversy that we saw last week, of course, in FRL F1 in Imola. And Oliver, obviously, you've had experience of this track so far this week. I recall you've mentioned you're second in the driver's standings coming into, obviously, next week. Obviously, I think you're in FRL F3, if I'm not mistaken. What is the racing like, obviously, around here? Because it is so tight in terms of the walls. One mistake, and you're pretty much off into the wall and probably out of the race.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And for me, learning from Formula 3 and definitely after last night's race, it's the fact that when you are racing, I don't have this at all with the experience for Formula 1, because I know for Formula 1, they should definitely always have 100% a clean race. For Formula 3, it's different, and you get loads of contact and all that, and it just looks like you just play with toddlers at this point on the little go-kart section. I know this sounds a bit awkward and sexual, but it's not. It's very generally true. But what I'd say, what is really, really important is the fact that you just don't want to be too close, because if you follow someone, the fact that you're getting slipstream and also getting DRS off them, you're going to be at least extra 100 to, like extra 10, 20, 30 kilometers per hour faster than the driver in front of you. So they're going to have a different braking approach to you. And that's another key point as well. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all 90-degree corners. So everyone just needs to focus on their braking points, because unfortunately, if one driver has a bad lockup and there just goes their times and all that, and it just definitely affects them, and they have nowhere else to go apart from the long runoff area. That means they'll have to also do a lovely 180 pirouette turn, and hopefully they just have enough time to get it through again. But unless you are trying to do it from the last minute countdown, you really want to make sure these lap sticks and the tyre work. I found out as well that the mediums were better because the softs faded out. Because when I went on the softs, you lose at least, well, 8/10. So it all depends if F1 can actually do better on the mediums to softs, or some of them can improve to softs.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, obviously, as the qualifying session goes on. Yona is going to come to the line to start his first lap, of course, around the Baku City Circuit, the Baku Street Circuit, however you like to call it. And in true Julian Palmer fashion, you have to be alert on a street circuit. Simple as that. Yona coming through turn number 1, coming to the left-hander of turn number 2. And he gets really, really deep into the apex there. Nice run out of the corner. And now Yona running down in toward the left-hander of turn number 3. Of course, a 90-degree left-hander as well. Mentos has just started up a lap along with Lou. We'll come on to them in just a second. But Yona coming through turn number 3. Of course, current TTML F2 leader in the championship. And he'll be hoping, of course, to try and recapitalise on his form. 34.4 through the first sector from Yona. Of course, the first sector split has changed. There are the flame towers right in front of the driver eye view. That is, of course, the magnificence of Baku and, of course, the city circuit around here. As we now come into my favourite section of the track, where I try to go around the outside of somebody, through the castle section, coming through turn 11, and then to the left-hander of turn number 12. Pretty much the highest point of the circuit at this point, coming in towards turn 13, of course, where Grosjean famously crashed it under the safety car and blamed Ericsson, as he now comes down through the hill, in towards turn 14, in towards turn 15. Doesn't take the esports line through there. You can hop over the curb really nicely. Yona didn't. And 13.6 on that set of soft compounded tyres. My fan, by the way, on my PS4 is going out the clappers at this stage. Yona coming through the left-hander of 18, to the right-hander of 19, and then to the right-hander, of course, the little kink of turn 20. Pretty much now flat out to the line. Yona will be out on top of the session, but I'm immediately looking at Montana. He's in the middle sector, and he should be on a good lap as well. Normally the king of qualifying around here, but Yona to the line, 38.2 on a set of soft compounded tyres. The line above with Montana is Tom goes second, 38.6. We will see more improvements on Montana, normally quite quick around here, and up to 13.6 through the middle sector, so he's already up on Yona's time, so we'll be looking to see if we can try and improve. Of course, reserving tonight for Macho. He comes through the left-hander of 18, through the right-hander of 19. Lou and Jensen, by the way, went third. Harmon now splits the pair. There's now Montana Runs through the final corner, in towards turn number 20, and now on the run all the way, runs to the line, 200-mile-an-hour gain, Montana running to the line, and it's a 38 flat to kick off the session, and that is Montana back to his imperious best. Montana out on top, Yona in second, Tom in third. Did warn you was the king of qualifying around here.
Yeah, Montana's done really well on focusing, and I also had a little look on Pettivore. It's just the exit where you said for the Formula 1 esports drivers, funny enough he's wearing the esport helmet, where you try to hop the curb, and that's the thing. If you do hop the curb, you really want to try and get that car perfectly slotted in, because if you hop that curb over, you're going straight in that barrier, and Baraka tops it and gets away with it, luckily. I think Baraka's doing alright on the mediums, coming round to the final sector, going a bit wide. Luckily, track extend didn't go too harsh on him. And his second sector is a 1 minute 14.6. So, I think this will probably put him close to his teammate. If not, definitely up in the top 10, but that's not going to do it because the other drivers are going to go on the faster tyres. And we see Baraka P5, like I said, close to the teammate, not too bad. And as long as actually gets really, really working together with this, Gunther's not only going to be happy with Kevin Magnussen returning to the seat, I think he's actually going to probably watch that for an hour and say, see my two lovely Haas drivers, P5, P6, so that will definitely help with the constructors if they can keep that momentum.
Well, of course, Haas finished first and second last week, and Imola, remember, it was Lou and Barak who took first and second. Are they hoping for more of the same things? I've got to say, they're the quickest of the medium runners, and normally I say around this track, from a set of mediums to a set of soft compounder tyres, you're going to be improving anywhere between 8 tenths per second and 1.2 seconds out on track. It's one of the tracks where you can really improve on your time. As a result, the mediums, as you said before, I think the stream actually started, mediums probably better than the set of softs around here, so that's why we're seeing a majority of drivers on a set of medium compound tyres. Then they'll of course transition to the set of softs. 7 minutes still through qualifying. Montana out on top, Ruti Hullett in second, Yona in third. For anybody worrying, by the way, about the stream, hopefully it's going to save after I finish it, and if it doesn't, I'm going to have words with Twitch afterwards. Montana out on top, Ruti Hullett in second, Yona in third. Davidenko, I think, is on a lap, if I'm not mistaken. He just came across the line on a 47.8. Very, very bad lap from Davidenko, and he'll be now on a valid lap, you would imagine, down and towards turn number 3. But as I say, Montana out on top, Ruti in second, Yona in third. And it's probably the top 3 are probably ones that you expect to be in the top 3. The likes of Jensen, the likes of Kazizel, keeping their powder dry for later in the session, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also weird already. We've already found out there is already one retirement. And I can go on the view of Jonah, and 3 people are trying to literally fight themselves out of the pits just to try and get, like, ahead. But as I was focusing, one of the Red Bulls has crashed out. So we're, 9 minutes in?
And the other one just hit the wall coming out of the castle section as well. That was Davidenko getting very close to the wall coming out of the little left-hander of turn number 10, basically the uphill section, that left-hander coming through turn 10, then through the right of 11. That's where he hit the wall. I think he's got away with it though. He hasn't got any front wing damage, but that was quite close. It was Remco, I think you were mentioning, the other Red Bull. Remco out of the session, and he said in the Discord, the only time that he has pace, I choke it this hard. And that is unfortunately the characteristic of Baku, as I think have just seen what you have just seen.
As well. At turn 2.
Oh yeah, Ryan is out. That wasn't what I was going to come on to.
He's out. I'm stupid what's happened. He's locked up and he's trying to do a lovely little pirouette and he just went straight in the barrier, unfortunately. But you see what I mean? Drivers have got to really, really judge their braking, because if they lock up, that's it, and they just lose all that momentum and the time. And here we go. I'm riding on board of Tom, going round at turn 2, be really careful on the brakes, perfectly gets that done. Going all the way down from the second DRS zone, going at least 320 kilometers an hour, brake late on that 100, just perfect, round turn 3, now coming up to the 4th and final 90 degrees corner at turn 4, now coming close across sector 1, it's going to be, well, a 80.3, not too bad around turn 5 and 6. Really want to try and get really low to the gear to get that nose in. Up to turn 7, trying to cut the corner and not get invalidated. That's Tom perfectly exterminated. As you see, the famous castle just got to be close to those barriers from turn 9, 10 and 11. Careful on the exit. He lost a bit of time, but if you go a bit wide, you will lose time. Or if worse, invalidate. From 12, 13 to 14 now from the Vettel as he hops the corner. Look at me, he gets away with that. Perfect, 4/10 up, and now it's a long straight. And see where he'll get. It won't probably be provisional pole, but it will be in the top 3.
I'll tell you something now. I think Jensen's going to get provisional pole. He's just ahead of him out on track. Jensen is 9/10 up in the middle sector. Now running to the line. This should be the first 37 of the night. It's not. He goes shy of Montana. Disappointing. Tom goes third. And look at how close the top 3 is. 300th of a second. And Lou just comes in banging with a lap. And he got slipstream on that. So the Haas has worked with the slipstream. That's exactly what you need, yeah. And Lou out on top. 37.7. Montana though is on a lap. He's coming to the left-hander of 14 or 15 even on the run down the hill. He's 1300s down, but it's a better middle sector. Oh wow, it's a 13.3.
He's gaining now.
He doesn't even need slipstream, I think, on this lap. He comes through turn 18. These are the corners that he really needs slipstream on. Lou had that slipstream. I think he'll probably stick to pole position. Montana though is going to be really close. I think the Mercedes now, as Kazizel just goes ahead of him, Montana will go ahead of him basically into second. And Montana now on the run to the line without slipstream. He doesn't go quicker, so he's only 200 off. And he didn't have slipstream on that lap. And I'll tell you now, if we did have slipstream on that lap, that would have been a 37.4.
Oh, definitely, for sure. It's just unfortunate that Montana, even though it just shows that with Lou, he got slipstream and DRS to get a little hand from his teammate, but it just shows that Montana just don't need that. And that's the main point. If Lou is leading the race, he's got to now try and push himself without that little support. What is not going to be handy, because Montana's just done that with no DRS, no slipstream. He's done that all on his own, as we see Mentos had a little spin on Montana's bit. But this is what I just want to get out there. Lou and Montana on their own league on their own. And the most interesting bit, as Baraka now goes 6th fastest, this is how close we are from the people who want to get in the podium. Kazizel, Jensen and Tom, like no closer than what, 30 milliseconds? It's absolutely getting close up there. Petavold's going to be up there, I think, as well. He comes to the line, it's 14th in the end. That looked a lot quicker than what I was thinking. 38.8. Honestly, let's not compare the times. He goes 14th, though. He's only a 10th behind his teammate. That'll be promising, I think, for the check. But as you were mentioning there, Lou and Montana are just in a different league, I think, at this point. Montana there in second, Kazizel there in third. But look at Montana. Kazizel's actually getting a bit of slipstream. I think they're coming both into the pit lane. And yeah, Montana is coming into the pit. They don't want to be side by side, by the way, down towards turn number 1, because I know both of them are probably going to hurt each other out on track. It is normally quite good and quite aggressive between them both. Hopefully, though, that doesn't happen. Lou out on top, Montana in second, Kazizel in third. Montana and Lou are ahead of the Shazoo clan, as I'm going to call it. Kazizel, Jensen and Tom, they're all on a set of soft competitor tyres. They're all on the same team. I'm getting Kazizel and Shazoo mixed up there. Kazizel in third, Jensen in fourth, Tom in fifth. Barak is not on a lap, I don't think. I don't think anybody is actually on a lap, if I'm not mistaken. I think Bunty might be the first. Like it. Yeah. Yeah, Bunty's going to go for it, and hopefully, if the Haas driver is going to slow down, which he is, Bunty's going to probably use him a bit and just get a little bit ahead.
He's running out of fuel.
Yeah, he's running out of fuel, but Bunty's going to just go past him. No, Bunty's coming in the pits, never mind. Thanks, clickbait, Bunty. Thank you ever so much. absolutely classic from the punch monitor.
He had got a qualifying ban. That's why he's came into fit. Then he's got a qualifying ban.
He did.
Just clicked on with the steward reports. He picked up a penalty point for the incident with Jensen that we covered, as he's now retired from the session. So he was only getting a setup in there. And looking at the stewards reports, I looked at them just before we came live, and yes, he's got a qualifying ban because he also picked up 2 penalty points and a warning for no POV. So he picked up 3 penalty points in total, 3 penalty points, of course, equaling a qualifying ban. Montana's inappropriately, I think, parked on the apex of turn 3 there. Physico was on a lap, though. He's coming now through in towards turn number 5, the left-hander. 34.5 through the first sector. That is not bad at all from the Finn. And if he can match up his middle sector with his and final sector with his first sector, this should be a quick lap from Physico.
Definitely, he did not take the shortcut. That's going to make him lose probably a couple of tenths. But being so aggressive, really close to those barriers up the castle. And where you hear Leclerc saying, I am stupid, this is physical, is that I am brave and I'm the finished of the Finlands. And this is brilliant. Is he going to hop the curb? He's not. He's going to take it safe, lower the fuel now, getting close to the second sector. And the time is going to be a 1:13, 4:10 faster. And as we have a look, it's not going to put him up to the top step, but it might get him close to P10, where you see MedTC. But it depends if Physical's going to stay with it. Physical, I mean, not Physical. That's the other person who I'm rambling on about, and it's P12. So yeah, he didn't get into the top 10, but he's close.
I think Jensen is on a lap. He's backed off, though, coming through turn 2, so clearly got a bad run. Yona, though, is on a lap, and he's a 10th.5 up in the first sector. In comparison to Physical's lap, he's already a 10th quicker, or 2 tenths quicker, in the first sector. 34.2. Physicals 34.5, so Yona clearly 2.5 tenths quicker in the first sector, and he was up on his own time. He flies through the castle section. That's about as close as you can get to the right hand side wall without even hitting it. That was really powerful from Yona coming through that section on the track, coming through out of 12 in towards 13 through the kink of 14. The flame towers just blazing over the skyline here in the metropolis of Baku in Azerbaijan. Yona then on the run down and towards turn 15 in towards turn 16. This is quick from Yona. This middle sector 13.2. This is up there with Lou and Montana. He is putting this lap together. He will not invalidate this lap. He's got a bit of slipstream ahead of him as well. This could potentially be pole position. He's going to get Harman's slipstream. Harman is going to give the slipstream to Yona. It's poorly organised, I think, and that should have been more well rehearsed and well done. But Yona on the run to the line. I think he might not even need slipstream. Yona to the line. He goes so quick as 37.6, and that was a 10th and 3/4 improvement, I think, in that final sector as well. Yona now out on top. Lou, though, he responds in the first sector. He's not as quick as Yona in the first sector, but he is a 10.5 up to the first sector alone.
Yeah, definitely.
And Montana is as well. Montana's coming to the end of his lap. Sorry to cut in. Montana's to the end of his lap. 37.7. He is now coming to the line. Is he going to go quickest? Yes, 37.5. What will Lou do, though? 37.7.
That's not too bad. So there it just shows that the Williams are really doing well. Silent cutting board as well, as we are riding on board with Rudiger, as he's got 2 tenths quicker. So he might get into the 37s, what's definitely going to help him for the championship, as he's P3 in the championship, remember, James? And it chucks him up there to P4.
I'll tell you what, though, Lou's just hit the wall coming out of turn 20. The little kink at 20 just clipped the wall slightly, but he did really quick on this lap. Lou could steal this from Montana. Lou to the line, doesn't steal it, and in fact, he's actually not even improved. 37.7, that clip of the wall coming out of the kink of 20, that cost him all of his time. That's unbelievable. I've never seen that before in commentary. Montana out on top for now. Yona in second's not responding. Is Tom responding, though? I think he's backed off his lap. He's not responding. Ruti.
The bell's going to improve. P12. He did have 3 tenths faster, and it just literally, he just did the same thing. Weirdly, though, from going flat out, he stayed 7th and then went to 8th. But he just took the curves too aggressively, and you don't want to slip, as Mentos now trying to improve in that Ferrari, getting, what, 2 tenths quicker, but is that going to be enough? This is literally TikTok shape, and seen who will get the improvement in the last
Oh, Jensen to the line. Jensen to the line. The right-hand side says 38 flat. The left-hand side says 37.999. Jensen there in 5th. Does improve on his lap. Nobody else above...
improved.
Petterval is improving, yeah, he goes 13th. Teal'c, I think, is improving, but he's invalidated through the final couple of corners, and now he is down on his lap. And I think, if I'm careful in saying, Henry is the only one that's actually improving. He's 2.5 tenths up through the middle sector, so we'll see what Henry is going to do. I'm looking at the comments there. Henry now coming towards the line. Is he going to improve? I think it's a 37.9 here from Henry. On the run to the line, 37.9, and he goes actually ahead of Tom. Big improvement by Henry, really good improvement from him, and the Alfa Romeo goes 4th, the Alfa Romeo's there 4th and 5th, but it is that man there, the king of qualifying in Azerbaijan, it is Montana, out on top. He's filling in for Macho, who I think is in the comment section actually. Montana on top, Yona there in 2nd, Lou in 3rd. In the end, Lou couldn't improve. If he didn't clip that wall coming out of turn 20, I think he would have went 2nd. I think all of that time was cost by that little clip of the wall. He's still in 3rd though. Very good qualifying session from him. I think Macho there said in the comment section as well, Lou got a toe on his previous lap. And he did get a toe. He didn't get one there. He might have needed one, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. And it just shows how much you really want to have a really good teammate to work together with the constructors as well. And it just shows that with Henry and Tom, they worked together to get to P4 and 5. Same with Lou and Baraka. They worked well, and they were up there together as well. But the likes of Montana, although he's a reserve driver and it didn't work as a team, he just got the job done himself. And hopefully, we're not going to have... No, we don't. I thought we're going to have a awkward game cut-off and thought we'd have to restart the servers. But if you would like, James, let's finish off. Who finished where and see what we get in the race.
Yeah, Montana out on top, 600th improvement ahead of Yona, 600th I should say, ahead of Yona. Montana on top though, Yona in 2nd, Lou there in 3rd, Henry there in 4th, Tom in 5th, Jensen in 6th, Ruti in 7th, Kazizel in 8th, Barak in 9th, Medzi C in the end ran off the top 10, Remco in 11th, good performance from him in qualifying, Callum in 12th, Petterval in 13th, Physical 14th, Mentos in 15th, Davidenko in 16th, Harman in 17th, Ryan on a set of mediums, interesting, he's down there in 18th, Teal'c there in 19th, and Bunty right down the back of the field, of course, having that qualifying ban, and he's going to be starting right at the back of the field alongside Teal'c on the 10th row of the grid. It's Montana out on top, Yona in 2nd, Macho I think has got a very, very good reserve driver in his midst, I think, here tonight. Montana, normally the king of qualifying, can he translate into the race? We'll find out probably in the next hour and I would say 10 minutes or so. So buckle up, sit tight. If you haven't followed, of course, the Twitch channel, follow the Twitch channel right now. Yes, do it right now. The 8 of you that is watching, including me, so 7 of you that is watching, and you can follow 6 now because Oliver is one of them as well. 6 of you that isn't, of course, us two looking at the comment section in the commentary box. Please subscribe to the channel. Every ounce of support is absolutely needed. Hopefully we can get as popular as the FRL live channel, and hopefully if this live stream actually saves, we will get the FRL, this race, the FRL Grand Prix here in Azerbaijan for F1. That will be uploaded tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon on the FRL live channel. So there you go, you're getting double treats, everyone, which is fantastic, as we're about to go for the formation lap, and we'll get to see what tyres everyone is on. Interesting. Further down the field, that's a really bad camera angle, by the way, on board with Montana. Can't get rid of it at the minute. There we go. Montana out on top, Yona in 2nd, of course, the top 10 qualifying on that Telesoft compound tyre. Everyone else, bar Davidenko and Bunty on a set of mediums, Davidenko and Bunty on a set of softs, but everyone else, of course, in that bottom half of the field on that set of mediums, bar them too. And that screams to me possibly that they want to be on the set of mediums earlier in the race, or a bit of forward thinking here. Are we due rain, perhaps?
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. And it's a bit weird to see the soft drivers. 2 people on the soft, while we see the rest on the mediums. Apart from the top 10, who are on the hards, Medzi C being disqualified from the formation lap. That's not going to help him at all. By the fact as well, he has to now stay in the grid, and this is still not like, this is a weird bit. As you're standing in the grid, your tyre's actually losing temperature, so he's going to really struggle on the start of the grid. Before we forget as well, and not trying to do the last lap call out who thinks we're going to see top 3 predictions, James, who do you think will be the top 3?
I'm just going to say one man for first, Montana. I think he is class above the rest here, and he's getting very, very rear happy there coming through 10-15. Goodness me, he was flicking out the rear end as if there was no tomorrow. Montana, though, I think will win. I think he's just better in terms of pace around here. He has won so many races and dominated so many races around here, and I think it's probably going to be exactly the same here tonight. Montana for me for the win. I'm going to go Tom for second. I think he obviously had a really bad race last week. He DNF'd, of course, in Imola, and he is looking for retribution. He's very quick around here as well, so I think he'll get second. And for third, I'm going to go for Jensen.
Interesting. Did Tom actually got DNF? Thought Tom finished in P3.
He retired in the pit lane last week.
I swear Tom finished.
It was Rooty P3 last week.
Oh, well, I've lost the plot
a week
now,
before, I think, you're on about.
No, never mind, ignore me. I think, alright, I'll just go quick. Montana, Ruti, and Baraka. That's all I'm just going to say, because we've got no time left, and everyone's now lining up on the grid. Bit of a slow call for me, but at the end of the day, we don't worry about that. It's going to be intense. It's going to be already. We're waiting for these lights. Where
Here we
are
go.
the damn lights? 1 light, 2 light, 3, 4, 5.
And it is. Lights out, and where we go. Montana gets a very good start. Jonas wheel spins off the start. And look at Tom's start around the outside of both of them. What a start by Tom. He's around the outside into third. That is absolutely phenomenal. Lou and Henry now down to fourth and fifth. Kazizel's diving down the inside of Henry. Hopefully nobody into the wall. Henry was slightly into the wall. I think he's got away with it though. And they're all clean coming out of turn 2. Montana leads the way. Yona there in second. Tom in third. Lou in fourth. Kazizel in fifth. Jensen in sixth. Is battling further down the field. Ruti tries to go all the way around the outside of Baraka, and this will be a great move if he can pull it off. There was a little bit of sideways there from Kalama in the background. He tries to dive it again down the inside of Baraka, doesn't get the move done. Everyone that was clean through, which I'm pleased to say, through the first sector, as we've got an outside move happening. Remco around the outside of Kalama. This is for P10. The two sister cars now going battling at it. Mentos, I think, having a battle with Harmon further down the field, and Ruti has got through on Henry as well. So Henry had a poor run coming out of turn 6 in towards turn 7. Didn't get the move done there. Montana leads the way though. Yona in second, Tom in third. They all fly through the castle section now as the pit stop comes up on the left hand side there. Everyone is clean through. Ryan nearly hit the wall, I think, there coming through the castle section, but everyone's clean through. Montana leads the way. Yona in second, Tom in third, and Henry must have damage from turn 2.
Yeah, definitely for sure. That's pretty perfect getaway for Montana. What he definitely needs, because with this race, it's going to be a long straight, and literally trying to keep everyone in control with the slipstream. As we can see, it's Montana first, Jonah second, Tom third, Lou fourth, Kazizel fifth, Jensen sixth, Rudiger seventh. Baraka 8, Kamel 9, and Remco top 10 with Henry. Meti C, Pedable, as we see someone coming in, that's Henry, so he's going to drop down. I believe he got front wing damage, that'll be at turn 2.
Ryan as well.
Probably turn 1.
Ryan crashed into the pit lane, in fact. Ryan hit the wall coming into the pit lane. And I think he got away with it just about. He's going to come in for a front wing change. He hasn't got away with it. He's got no front wing coming into the pit lane there. He did have right side damage, I think, coming out the castle section. So that is why he is now down in 20th, right down the back of the field. But that man there, Montana, leading the way. Yona, my goodness me. He was sideways coming out of turn number 4. How on earth he's kept that car in a straight line, I do not know, because that was sideways McGee, quite literally, from Yona. 9 tenths behind Montana. I've never seen a Williams that sideways before in Azerbaijan. Montana leads the way, Yona in second, Tom in third. Apart from the contact with the wall between Henry and Ryan, best start of the race I think we've had all season. Especially around Azerbaijan, where the pressure is on for these drivers so much. Everyone's handled the pressure well.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's just amazing how everyone actually just got really close, but I thought we'd probably see 2 drivers definitely out, and they would have to basically, you know, soldier themselves back to the pit lane. At the end of the day, they did, but they did have front wing on, but it's just unfortunately that they're just a little bit contact, as the damage is on standard, so it's not actually that strict. So we just keep on board with everyone now. It's still going to be no battles, because there's just no DRS activated until now, lap 3. DRS is enabled, and DRS now works at turn 2, because DRS has its own detection point, and it used to be run from, well, this is from 2016 when the circuit first began. It actually run from how turn 1 worked, then to turn 2, if you still didn't get them. But because it's a bit unfair, it actually rewards the person to stay behind a bit more, they gave it its own DRS detection. And we're seeing a bit of a battle behind.
Oh, I thought Physical was going to go on the outside of Mental Stone towards turn number 3. He thought about it, but he just got caught too late on the brakes. Mental stays ahead, and I think MedTC was right on the back of Remco and towards turn 3. He faked the move, so Remco stays in 10th. MedTC in there in 11th. But look at the front 2. They're beginning to pull away massively. Tom there in 3rd. He's losing time. I wonder if he's hit the wall somewhere out on track. He's just struggling slightly for now a little bit of pace. Lou and Kazizzle all over the back of him. It's either Tom struggling with the tyres, or he's got a little bit of damage on that car. But Montana has pulled away significantly, so much so that he's out of DRS range to Yona. He's out of slipstream range as well to Yona, and Montana is now going to dominate this race right from the front. As long as we don't get any safety cars, he'll win. Montana leads the way, Yona there in 2nd, but the move is going to come for 3rd, I think. Lou on the back of Tom. Tom, of course, former IFR man, now as part of the Shazoo team, up against Lou, of course, qualified in 3rd, and now he's going to hunt on the back of him and try and get the move done, and probably, I'm going to say this now, it's probably going to be the easiest overtake you'll probably ever see running down the straight if he uses up the DRS, and I hope I haven't said that now and I'm tempting fate. He now pulls to the left-hand side. He is going to get the move done. It's easy as you like. Thank goodness Lou actually made that move done. He's into 3rd as we've got, I think, 3 wide in the background. Bunty on the back of Davidenko. T-Hawk has been mullered as well, and now Bunty to the inside line is going to make 2 for 1. He had a qualifying ban, but he doesn't even care. Down the inside of turn number 1, gets the move done on Davidenko. Nice move there by Bunty. Here comes Davidenko on the back though, in towards turn number 2.
Not going to give up.
Oh, and he...
that was close as well with that, but it's not over yet. And not MedTC, T-Hawk's now going to literally try and have a look at this.
Easy.
And it's really going to be interesting as David goes a bit early on the brakes. Bunty stays late. This is perfect. T-Hawk must be literally getting his video camera out for this. And you can see they're side by side. David's just got to get this. David's got to get this for sure. For the Woodland Spoon, by the way.
Oh. Bunty is still there!
Both side by side, still watching T-Hawk! This is amazing, T-Hawk's literally losing time though. But at the end of the day, I know they used to say they're battling for the wooden spoon, but this wooden spoon must be covered in diamonds, because they just find this from like their practice life. As we just saw on T-Hawk a bit, I just see on your screen, as MedTC is actually losing position.
He's got no front wing. Metis has got no front wing at all. He's come, I think, hit the wall coming out of turn 12 or 13. One of the two. He's got no front wing at all.
It was actually the interesting part. While I was still watching T-Hawk, it was actually when they were going up the castle section. I think he hit the castle section because I just saw like a black part of wing, and I just didn't know who it was because I didn't know if it looked the colour of the Mercedes or any carbon fibre. But unfortunately, MedTC have just given his race to lose, as the both Ferraris are actually scrapping for the final point. Everyone goes past MedTC as I'm still watching the battle for Davidenko, Bunty and T-Hawk.
I think Petavold's going to get the move done, re-overtake maybe on Mentos. I wonder if he's just going to sit in the slipstream here and wait on the back of Mentos. He will sit on the back of him. Mentos stays there in 11th position. Petavold in 12th. But you were saying about this battle, Bunty to the outside of Davidenko, going to get the move done. Walters around the outside of him. He's in the wall. He's on the wall. And look at this. T-Hawk is going to get them both. Oh, and he backs out. Goodness me. Bunty doesn't want to give up the fight. I think he should give up the fight, though. He's got a bit of front wing damage, I think, now on that car.
No, he hasn't. He's just lucky.
He's just lucky. I thought it was right side end plate damage, though.
No, he's lucky. He's lucky. I didn't see anything come off the camera of T-Hawk. as Physical is now
What
lost
on-
it. That's the problem. Missing his braking point, and that is the main point. You really need to focus on those braking points and really judge where you think is perfect to brake. But at the end of the day, they're not just doing like one-shot qualities, they're actually now literally doing race distance. And the fact that the tyre will start losing wear and Davydenko's getting away, but is literally trying to chase him. Yeah, like I was saying, if you literally don't pay attention at all, that's it. Your race is over. You've got to be constantly focused, and it's just got to be driven in your mind, into the brain.
Frontier in, Montana's into the pit lane, Yona into the pit lane. That's exactly where I thought they would come in. Normally you can get a good 20 odd laps on a set of mediums around here if you're very careful on your tyres. So Montana has blinked first, everyone in fact on a set of softs is in, and now promotes Callum to the lead, Remco in second, Mentos in third. Montana though is coming out the pit lane. Is he going to be out in clear air? Yes he is. But Yona, is he going to be out in clear air? Because there's Davydenko on the right hand side of him, and Davydenko's going to be ahead of Yona. If Yona doesn't send this, and he doesn't, Davydenko's ahead of him for at least one corner, maybe two corners as well, and if he's ahead of him through the first sector, this is going to be disastrous for Yona, but he's going to pull alongside, and Yona waltzes past him as if he's not even there on the right hand side. Yona through, and he's into P7, and now back into a net a net second position, I should say, a net P2, however you like to call it. Yona there in 7th, Davydenko in 8th, and Yona needed that move done, otherwise he would have been sitting behind Davydenko, and he would have been getting very, very impatient.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, and I don't know what's in the mind of Davydenko. He's actually stayed out for an extra lap, where he wants to actually try and use up these softs for 5 laps. So, interestingly, he wants to try and push, but I think it's actually a bad call, my friend, because, like how it is in Spain, it's very hot, and those tyres are just not going to take it. Plus the fact as well is that the Baku is just very, very, very strict on the tyres. It's just like Bahrain. If you lock up at turn 11, just imagine this. All your corners are at turn 11. So it's just absolutely madness how you've got to really be gentle on these tyres. If Davydenko thinks he's going to do alright, that's fine. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to happen as Remco and Kamel now actually trying to fight for... I think this probably be net P. Actually, no. I think they're actually fighting for the position. No, they're not. Tell a lie. They're on 6 lap and back.
Oh, look at this! It's 3 wide. Sorry to cut in. Lou's down the inside of both Physical and Davydenko. Wow. What a move by Lou! He absolutely sent that on the brakes down the inside line. Sorry to cut you off, Oliver, but that was well and truly needed. Lou on the back of Physical and Davydenko. It was the parting of the Red Sea. Lou went to the inside line. That is phenomenal stuff from Lou. And here comes Tom on the back of Davydenko, and he's going to get the move on Davydenko, surely, and he does. These guys are skilled people out on track. They're more skilled than me and you. Tom there in 11th, Davydenko in 12th, Kazizel in 13th, Lou now on the back of Teork, and he's going to be hopefully getting the move done as Kazizel launched, I think, that on Davydenko, got the move done, and Davydenko, yeah, all of these guys in the set of mediums beginning to come through the field. Jensen doesn't want to try this down the inside of turn number 7, and he doesn't certainly want to go around the outside of the castle section. He doesn't want to cut me. Remember, Jolie and Palmer, you've got to be alert on the street circuit. Remco leads the way, Callum in 2nd, Mentos in 3rd, Pettervoll in 4th, Harmon in 5th. It's the 2nd time I said that, by the way, tonight. Lou on the back of Teal. Teal very much struggling coming out of 13, but look further down the field. Jensen on the back of Davydenko. We've got a yellow flag that is Henry off coming through turn number 2. So Henry off is through turn number 2, and Tom now down the inside in towards turn 15 all of a sudden. So Tom down the inside line on Physical. No room drawn and quartered there, and Tom is through and he's into 10. And now look at the amount of EOS he's going to use about these final 2 corners. Lou has been held up massively here. I wouldn't be surprised as Callum gets the move done on Remco for the lead of the race. Look at the closing speed of Tom. Teork has got absolutely no chance down the straight. The Alfa Romeo is coming storming at the back of the McLaren. Is he looking to the inside line? You bet he will. Down the inside line, down in towards turn number 1. Should get the move done towards 2. Tom, skilled as you like, gets the move done on Teork, force him out wide, and Kazizel just comes through off the part of the Red Sea of the curve. Physical's now right on the back of this, and that is everyone now disposed of, which is good. Montana leads the way, and Montana in the net lead of the race still. Yona there in 2nd. Lou, Tom and Kazizel. That was smart driving from Tom, I've got to say, because Teork didn't give that up at all. Fair play to him, but but Tom had that inside line, forced Teork wide enough without clipping the wall on the right-hand side, and that Kazizzled through. Perfect driving from Tom, perfect driving from Teork. That is racing.
Team orders go through as well from Alpine. It looked like Fisichella and Jensen doing a little switcheroo. Definitely trying to help the points. It's saying that Jensen is faster than you. But yeah, I'm so glad you did cut me off there, because I was just rambling on how many jelly beans I've got in my jar. Teork lose the back end, as I saw on your Twitch channels.
Jensen's not going to go for this, is he?
I think he might if he wants to, but I think it's a bit risky. No, he thinks a better route of it, and yeah, I think he's just better off waiting for the DRS bit.
Oh, but look,
yeah.
Looking behind him though, Physical and Ruti are going to get such a good run coming out these final series of corners. I wouldn't be surprised if Ruti actually gets all of these guys down towards turn number 1, because look at the speed he's carrying. Physical was using up that ERS behind. Teork's going to be a sitting duck. It's going to be 3 wide once again, however you look at it. Jensen now through into 11. Teork tries to get back in that slipstream, but look at this, it's going to be 3 wide, and now Physical backs out. This could end an absolute tears. Ruti though, down the inside line, bit of hand of rage. Down the inside line. I don't think there was actual wing damage there for Ruti. And somehow, Teork might feel hard done by. That could have been done a lot cleaner, as Montana's got the move done on Harmon further up the field. That could have been done a lot cleaner. To be fair, though, as now Baraka's on the back of Physical and he's going to get the move done, Physical and Teork are literal traffic, I think, at this point. Oh, and there's a bit of contact, a bit of desync there. He has.
Physical! That is unfortunate. I think he just clipped the wall and his whole wing just blew up in front of them.
I watched on board with Baraka there, and Baraka, it almost looked like there was a bit of desync actually between them both, because there was a little bounce on the curb. That bounce was then multiplied by the lag, and Baraka, I think, has just lagged onto the side of Physical, and Physical's in the wall and he's lost his front wing. So I think that's exactly what's happened there. And obviously, stewards will have a look. Physical, so disappointing from his perspective, was driving well. I was about to say, though, before you cut me off there, that Teork and Physical were the traffic in, really, the train for the lead of the race. And that now has completely gone. So, we're back to square one. We're back to real good racing. No yellow flags, by the way. I'm concerned that the yellow flags and everything's not working around here. Oh, yeah, we've got a safety car glitch. I forgot around here as well, I think, in Azerbaijan. Callum leads the way. Remco in second. Mentos in third. Pettervol in fourth. Here comes Montana on the back of the Ferrari. I don't think he's going to be close enough, though, down in towards turn number 1. Actually, speaking of which...
Mad.
Oh, no, he didn't want to go for that.
But he's going to wait for it for a DRS2, and Pettervol's gone now trying basically tell his teammate to get on with it. But he may not be close enough, but we know Montana, and I think there's a battle for the lead. No tell a lie, just keep an eye with it, and Montana stay with it, but Jonah is actually getting on with team switching for Ham, for the Williams. No one else is actually battling, apart from Ruti and Jensen. Jensen just easily lets Ruti through. Just like he saw his teammate after that DC, he thought the better of it and let him get on with it. But as long as he just don't get unfortunate lag switch like that, he should be all fine. But yeah, sorry that I did cut you off, but like we say, trade for one is another one for me. But as we still keep an eye, these other drivers like Kamel, Remco and the 2 Ferrari drivers, they are on 9 laps of all tyres, so they will definitely have to come in. So theoretically, your race leader is Montana for P1 and Jonah in P2.
And I just realised actually, Jonah was 2.8 seconds, I kid you not, he was 2.8 seconds behind Montana. He's used up so much ERS, he's been in clear air, and he's only 7/10 off him. Jonah is battling back here on Montana. Montana's probably going to get the move done here on Pettervol, down in towards turn number 1. He'll open up the DRS, he'll open up the ERS. I don't think he'll need the ERS, I think, for this move. He's at the outside line. Remco down the inside of Callum gets the move done there, and Montana waltzes around the outside of Petter. Gives him too much room, though. It doesn't matter. Lovely. He gets the move done. Montana through and he's into 4th. But Jonah now, back within that DRS train, back within that DRS detection zone. Pettervol's ahead of him. Petter gets out the way for Jonah. This is looking more and more promising, I think, for Jonah. He drove well on PSGL F6 last night as well as Montana pulled. No way! To the outside line, has gone straight on! Montana!
That's so risky! On the curve as well. He just brakes and locks up on the brakes as well. That is the most deadliest curve as well, because you landed wrong on that. That is just cost Montana, as you can see, have to take the exit route and reverse so quickly as well. That is not what Montana needs, and now it puts Jonah now in pole position. And this is probably going to cost him so much.
And he's 4 seconds clear of the rest of the field. Montana's picked up a 3-second penalty as well. It goes from bad to worst. Harmon is now holding up. Harmon is the perfect second string driver at this point, because Lou is 4 seconds behind Yona. Yona on the back of Pettervall. Pettervall, I wouldn't be surprised if he either lets him through or there's a move down in towards turn number 1. How on earth, what have we just seen? I'm speechless. Montana, normally, characteristically, he shouldn't have gone around the outside of there in the first place, because Mentos was always going to leave him short of room. If he waited another lap, he probably would have got the move done, and he would have been in the lead of the race. It's simple. He'll be absolutely cursing himself. Yona now on the back of Pettervall. Mentos, though, is going to give the slipstream to Yona. Mentos and Pettervall are not working together, and look at this in behind, because Lou is passing Harmon. So is Tom. So is Kazizzle. Three-way moving towards turn number 1. A three-way training towards turn 1, and Lou, Tom and Kazizzle get through, and Harmon. Pettervall, I think, was close to the back of Yona, and now Yona's on the back of Mentos, down towards turn number 3. Is he going to get the move done to the outside line? Mentos is going to give the room this time, and Yona to the outside line. That's what Mentos should have done.
Yeah,
Either let Montana through, or he should have just parked it to the left-hand side, and Montana could have had a fair crack at it. And speaking of Montana, he's got the move done on Harmon, in towards turn number 3 as well. It's so unfortunate. Looking on hindsight, though, that curb is very deadly. Oh, as Montana hits the wall as well.
Close. Whoa. I don't know what's going on with Montana now. This has literally just gone from bad to worse to, okay, this is not the Montana drive at all. And the fact that he's just been so on with it, and out of nowhere, he's just made a human error. And you think this man may be just a robot. He can't be, because he does make mistakes. So it just shows that even though people say he's just secretly like a Terminator behind the helmet, he can make mistakes. And that is just probably not the way how he wants to go. So Montana's just got nothing to do now but just to get on with it. And just hopefully he just don't get another time penalty.
I can't believe, by the way, we're halfway through this race. Remco and Callum are having their own private battle for the lead of the race. We haven't been covering it until now, because here comes Remco on the back of Callum. Pulls out of the slipstream, easy move down the inside line and towards turn 1, gets the job done. Ryan, I think, has let both Davidenko and Bunty through further down the field. And Pettervall on the back of Mentos not going to get the move done. And Lou, Tom and Kazizzle now catching up to the back of the Ferrari train just ahead. Remco leads the way. Callum are in second. These two have been going at it the last few laps, and we haven't rolled on board, as I say. And look at Gallagher. He goes, he was going to go to the inside line until I rode on board with him, and he didn't even go for the move. So, yeah, Pettervall gets moved on Mentos. And Ruti as well on Harmon.
Thought Pettervall was going to go wide into the barrier, as Ruti does get past as well. It's good to see that Ruti's going up there as well. So at the moment, if we also consider it, Lou is actually leading the championship, because Rudiger and Jensen are nowhere near in the point. Well, Rudiger is now in the points, but it's still not enough by 1 point. So Lou is leading this championship easily. But as long as you can try and catch up to Jonah as well, because Jonah's been like a ghost in the championship as well. If we see where Jonah is in the championship,
I think Harmon's been in the wall through the castle section. Either he's just letting anybody through. I think he has let somebody through. And yeah, Harmon, I think, has let people through. Sorry to cut it off there. And there's the yellow flag in sector 2. Med-TC's question. The castle section could be the first safety car of the night. It is a safety car. That's what the race needed. Remco leads the way. Callum in second. Yona in third. Safety car at the halfway stage here in Baku. So it looks like we're going to get one half of the race being completely and utterly bizarre. And then the second half of the race is probably going to be even better. Remco into the pit lane. Callum into the pit lane. Yona into the pit lane. Look at what this does, though. The likes of Lou, the likes of Tom, they're all going to be coming in the pit lane. Remco and Callum are now leading this race.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And it's interesting as well, because water drivers as hards?
Softs? For Remco?
Seeing soft for Remco, Pettivore on soft, and seeing hard for Kamel.
Are they going to get to the end of the race?
The softs are not going to get to the end of the race, and the hards are not even going to be pretty warm enough to get into the racing attack. So, I don't know what's going on with these drivers.
Actually, I've just spied something as well. Kazizel is now leading this race. So Kazizel has opted to stay out on this set of medium compounder tyres. I think now he has to go for broke. He can't come into the pit lane. He's going to lose so many positions if he does. Kazizel's now committed. One-stop strategy, set of mediums, try and fight up the likes of Remco and Callum. You've got two drivers behind which you should have pace over. You've got Jona, the only man I think to worry about, plus Pettivore and Lou. Obviously, they're on a set of soft compounder tyres. It's now completely wide open, this race. Kazizel leads the way. Remco in second, Callum in third. As long as Kazizel can get those tyres online, and Remco cannot get those softs online at the safety car restart, I think Kazizel's going to be away and gone.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And that will help Kazizel win the championship, because bear in mind, in Saudi Arabia, he finished 18th. Unfortunately getting put off by the AI Ghost and crashing in the wall. And in Imola, he awkwardly retired by getting pushed into the pit lane. So if Kazizel wins this, it will be his second win after Bahrain. That will give him 50 points. Lou, who is in 8th, well, who's in 6th, sorry, I just can't read. He's in 6th with got to get 8 points, what will give him 48. So if Kazizel stays where he is and finish, but I think he won't, because by the amount of tyre wear he's gone, it's 7 laps, he's going to struggle. But if Kazizel win this race, he's going to be up in to the race win in the championship. He will be in first place in the championship. So another like smack or flip in the table on the championship. So it's good to see that it gives us a little rest. And yeah, I just don't know what really happened with Montana with that. It still shocked me. And I know people may be saying, right, he's just made a mistake, you can't be shocked, but this man is the most sweatiest man for doing near enough all the time trials and breaking near enough every record. And the way he just really wanted to get on with it. And I actually think it's because that, like you said, Jonah went from 2 seconds, just a second from DRS. So, although he used all that battery and had like 3% in the battery, that might have played a bit of mind tricks on Montana.
What is going on for 12th and 13th, by the way? Harman is back through on Barak. I'm watching on board with Barak as well. And Barak's now just going to stay behind on Harman. Harman's just literally like trying to let him through for some reason. Don't get that somewhat. I think Barak would have had a 5-second penalty coming his way for ignoring yellow flags. He hasn't. Harman there in 12th, Barak in 13th, just funny position changes happening, it seems, at the back of the field, because this leads the way. Remco in second, Callum in third. If you're wondering how F2, by the way, is getting on, we've got more viewers than F2, by the way, tonight, so thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in on Twitch, the most exclusive platform for Fantari Racing F1, because this leads the way. Remco in second, Callum in third. Safety car is out at the end of lap 1. They're on lap 3 now in F2. Pelly leads the way, Leighton in second, Will there in third, and apparently there was a clash with Pepin and Biolo, apparently, I've just witnessed on the stream, so that is why F2, and they had a restart session in qualifying as well, so that is why they're running a lot behind schedule. Henry, by the way, is going very slow indeed. I'm not sure if he's in the session, actually. Henry is right at the back of the field. Saw this with Patuxai, actually, last night in PSGL, where he was not going as slow as what he was, and obviously staying off the back of the safety car, and he got onto the back of the safety car, and the safety car came in an extra lap, and Henry, 31 seconds behind. I mean, he's not going to catch a safety car on this lap anyways if he was to catch up. So Henry on the back is going to be waiting on for another lap, and the safety car is going to be in, probably at the end of lap 16, going on to lap 17, and Kazizel leads the way. Remco in second, Callum in third, and I'm just looking at the top end of the standings currently as it stands in this race, and I'm looking at myself and thinking, what on earth is going to happen?
I just have no idea at at all. Anything could happen in Formula 1. Even Formula 2, 3 and 4. Anything could happen in a race. Like right now, as Casino is getting right up the back end of the safety car, I don't want to touch it because it's instantly disqualified. As right now, I've been watching your stream and you can look backwards on it, and I've been trying to change everything on the settings and look backwards. We're back on default setting, now I can look backwards. So
you can.
Yeah, I just really don't know how to use these camera controls. So pretty glad that you know how to use these cameras and do perfect streams with this. So yeah, anyway.
If you use the controller right now and you've got the right stick, flick it downwards.
Yeah, literally, I'm just spinning it around now, so, yeah, just away we go. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. But yeah, like you are enjoying this, if you're enjoying the Twitch stream, make sure you do follow, because if we go up to 50 followers, it then starts us a brand new perfect career with this, yeah. Not only for YouTube, but for Twitch as well. And it will also gives us a lot more hands as well. That's for moderators as well, people who are big fans for FRL. Even if you subscribe as well, if we hit 50. I think the subscribing bit is only like £3.99, that's not too bad, and that's for a month as well. And as long as you keep going with it for as well, you always will be popping up from the screen as well. So you'll probably go from, you'll be like the massivest fan from 1 month to 32 months. So if you guys can get this up to 50 followers and get this league boost up as the safety car is in, that would be very appreciated. And we have got, well, 9 viewers, so make sure you hit that followers.
More than F2 on YouTube. But I'm liking Twitch. I think this is a good move for the league, because this will lead to the way
definitely.
He is now the virtual permanander, he's now the virtual safety car, and he is now leading the pack, of course, and he's trying to get those tyres as warm as possible from to mount a charge in towards turn number 1, with Remco right on the back of him. Remco is going to be all over the back of him like a hot rash, and he's there in second on that set of soft compound tyres, waiting for Kazizel to go. I think he'll be at the DRS detection point when Kazizel says go, because this is a very consistent pace, and this is a really good restart, I've got to say. Now Kazizel, eventually he'll say go. Ryan Teork swap positions. Physical's had a collision with Teork, in fact, further down. No, and actually,
Kazizl's gone.
Kazizel has gone, yeah. Kazizel leads the way down towards turn number 1, but it's side by side between Lou and Pettervol for 5th position. Lou dives it down the inside line, and he makes contact with Yona.
God.
And he absolutely launched that. He shouldn't have risked that. And now Tom is through, and he's into 5th all of a sudden. So Tom gains positions. Montana now down in 8th. Ruti there in 9th. There was a sideways moan, I think, from Barak in the background there as well. But now Remco attacking Kazizel. On the running towards turn number 3. Kazizel holds the lead. That's exactly the start he wanted. Yona nearly goes into the back of Callum coming through turn 3. And he's on the inside of turn 4. Yona's launches it down the inside line. What a move that is by Yona. What a switchback! What a dummy! What a move by Yona! He's through and he's into 3rd. Callum down in 4th. Tom there in 5th. You have just witnessed possibly one of the special moves, as now Tom is on the back of Callum coming in towards turn number 7, and perhaps going to try and prove my theory wrong, and doesn't go for the move.
Petterval, literally, this is the part where everyone kicks off straight back in Formula 1 again. Once the safety car's gone, everyone is literally fire at this point. Full of energy, and this is amazing. And we can just see a massive train as we're just focusing back on Kazizel with Remco and then Jono as well. And this is now completely like changed everything as well. Not only the fact that people was on different strategies and all that, but everyone's on their own strategy. Apart from Kazizel, he's expecting to actually last on these 10 laps on the tyres and beyond.
He's going to be outdone here though. He's going to be outdone here because here comes Remco on the outside line in towards turn number 1, and he's going to get the move done even before the DRS detection point. Of course, DRS is not enabled this time around. Montana is on the back of Lou, Petterval on the back of Tom, and Tom's on the back of Callum down in towards turn number 1. Tom to the inside line, gets the move done and falls to Callum right wide, and that's exactly all, and they're into the wall. Petterval and Callum are into the wall, and Petterval with no front wing. Callum are caught up in that instant. They got caught up on each other. all of that. I don't think it will be a safety car, to be honest. It's green flag racing. And Jonas on the back of Kazizel. Jonas around the outside of turn 3, nearly goes straight on. Oh my god, he nearly, and it's a VSC. VSC deployed.
VSC, so virtual safety car. I had some sort of idea that the game's going to trick us again to a virtual, but not too bad. So everyone's just gone now, try and keep the delta on the display on the screen to what they were and how the speed was. As we can see, Remco's definitely got away with it. I think Kazizel's literally blown this fish up out of the water with his for his tyre strategy from the pits. I think he should have came in with the rest as well. So he's got to just really give it everything. And Montana is now trying to climb himself back up. But here's the thing, once Montana gets past, he now then got to try and pull 3 seconds from the driver behind, and I think it's going to be impossible because of the DRS as well. So Montana, unfortunately, not going to actually get himself up there. So this is only going to be up to, well, Jonah and probably Tom.
Lou's hit the back of Montana. That should be a 5-second penalty, I think, coming Lou's way. That was contact on the back of him. It somehow got going, and look at this for the front 3. Kazizel on the back of Remco. Jonas on the back of Kazizel, and he's going to get them both. It's going to be 3 wide. It's shot number 1. God, hold your breath for this one. Remco leads the way. Jonas to the outside line. Kazizel blocked in, and Jonas not going to think about going around the outside here, is he? To the outside line through turn 1. No, and he is still side by side. He hits the wall slightly. Jonas on the outside line in towards turn number 2. The Williams and Thomas round, I think, in the background. Remco leads the way, Jonas in second, Kazizel in third, and Thomas retired from the session. I think that's a slow crash that might deploy a safety car, and now Jonas on the back of Remco. I think he realises that the safety car could be coming out. He doesn't go for the move. Remco leads the way, Jonas in second, Kazizel in third, and looking at hindsight, it should have, because Jonas should have got the move done. There's no safety car. Side by side between Mentos and Jensen. Harmon on the back of this as well. Goodness me, I don't know where to turn. Jensen on the inside line of Mentos gets the move done, and he's through and he's into 7. My god, what a race this is. Baku. Remco leads the way. Jona now in second. Kazizel in third. His tyres are beginning to go off. He's in car number 12 on 12 lap old mediums. Montana now on the back of this. And I'm just going to say this now as Kazizel hits the wall slightly coming out of the castle section. I'm just going to say this now. If Montana gets that 3-second penalty removed, he could still be on for this race win.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. Because we don't even know if Montana's actually got given a 3-second time penalty just for just extending 3 corners, or just randomly cutting just 1 corner. Is like, right, that's it, you get a 3-second time penalty because you're just done too fast. But
Mentos.
Unfortunately,
Mentos next to Harmon. Interesting.
Wow. This is weird as well, but, well, not weird, but Tom was going around the outside of Lou. Lou just didn't give enough space, and Tom just hits Lou's tyre, and also just spin him straight at the wall as we are just trying to keep an eye on what's going on. Remco's trying to catch up, but these softs are not going to do it. Jonah is literally going to pull away because it was just a sitting duck as everyone else kicking off with Baraka and Harm. They're trying to fight it with Mentos as well. Bunty's literally trying to put his nose where it wants to belong, and this is going to be a 3-way battle on the straight with Harm, Baraka and Mentos. Harm is literally trying to defend the inside. Baraka's trying to think about it, trying to do a switch, and they all kiss in that lovely wall just to say, see you miss, I'll see you later. And this is now just trying to get really close, as Harm is done really well just to keep that P8, but I don't know how long he's going to keep that for long, as Baraka is literally putting his nose where it should not belong at all. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, as Harm's literally trying to defend, and it just keeps going and going. As Harm is just trying to defend, I think he's just struggling with those mediums, but at the end of the, off the softs, sorry, I can't read the tyres. He's struggling on those softs. So it was wondering, well, does Remco be able to make it? Because they've got an extra 6 laps of this. I don't think these softs will even make it. I think that we'll have to literally make another pit stop at this rate. But as Baraka is now going to try and get with it, as we also see who's going to have a battle. I think Jonah's got away. Remco's lucky as well. Kazizel is literally going to be a sitting duck. Is Montana going to go for it with Lou and Rudiger?
Oh no.
I think Montana might think about it,
No, he's too far
Montana's
back.
getting close. He's going.
Too far back.
No, he's going for the dummy. He's going for the fake dummy, but he's definitely got to go for it for the next one because look, because Zizzle has got no battery, hardly at all. So he's going to be struggling. So Montana's going to be pretty close.
Bunty's round.
Just seeing, Bunty as well. We're just seeing as well what's going to be going on. Montana.
Nowhere. No
no,
close.
there's nowhere to go. Montana don't want to make the same mistake as well, lock it up and going out on the exit. See anyone else as well? No one's literally fighting on the left. Pizzico and Davidenko and Henry going up the inside of Davidenko, off the inside of turn 4. Lovely move, but Davidenko gets the traction and trying to defend it. Lovely stuff from the Red Bull driver, and lovely from the Aston Martin driver. Not Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo driver, with the Aston Martin driver behind him as well from Ryan. And this is absolutely going. My throat is going down.
Oh, Montana's on the inside line of turn 14. Sorry to cut you off. He's on the inside line. He gets the move on Kazizzle. Kazizzle had a really poor run coming out of the castle section, and it's a safety car. What on earth has happened? Henry, I think, has hit the wall. Henry has hit the wall. He's got no front wing through the castle section. Montana now has got the move on Kazizzle. And it's a safety car. With 5 laps to go, Henry gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. He just hit the wall, for goodness sake. He will get that removed, I'm sure. Yona leads the way. Remco in second, Montana in third. Second safety car of the evening. Both deployed through. They will not come in the pit lane, I don't think. Remco might, I don't know. Yona's staying out.
Go for it. Montana's
not.
For oh!
He's not. That's late. No. Kazizzle's in. Kazizzle's in.
I want to be careful with that because Remco, I don't think he's not supposed to do that with the pit lane as well. That is a bit of a naughty thing from the stewards. I don't think he's supposed to do that. Oh my god, my voice is going again. Oh no.
I'll talk for a bit. Yona leads the way, Remco in second, Montana in third. But about the pit stops though, yeah, Harman is into the pit lane, Kazizzle is into the pit lane. Kazizzle's going to be ahead of Harman, actually comes out and nearly inside of him, coming through turn number 1. Kazizzle coming out the pit lane. He's down in 10th, fresh set of soft compound tyres. They're going to be significantly quicker than the rest of the guys ahead of him. Yona leads the way though. Remco, who would have thought Remco would be second in this race? If you got that in your bingo cards or in your predictions before the race, well done, because we didn't. Remco's there in second, Montana in third. I mean, to be fair, we got Montana for first, and look where he is. He's in third, and nowhere else in my top 3. It's not even in the top 3. Yona leads the way. Remco there in second, Montana in third. Everyone has came into the pit lane. We will have 2 laps, of course, at least underneath this safety car, which means we are going to get either 2 laps of racing and no DRS, or, which I think is the more likely option, 3 laps of racing, DRS final lap of the race.
Yeah, definitely, but it also depends as well, as people behind as well, like Pettivore, T-Hawk, Henry, they are a bit behind. And once again, oh no, it's Ryan this time, in AI mode, under the safety car. I don't know why people do that, it's just so stupid. But at the end of the day, I think they might do 23 and 24, and there'll be no DRS because just the fact that the drivers are a bit behind, so they will have no choice but to just use pure straight line speed and all the overtake. And this was, funny enough, the same scenario for F3 as well. We actually finished the safety car on lap 24, and we all just have to use the battery. And the fact when you get to the main straight as well, when you use all that battery.
Oh, has Henry left the session? I think he has. Has Henry left the session?
Yeah,
he has left the session. Henry has left the session.
Left the session. That's weird. I just saw that on your stream.
I didn't see that. I didn't even see him disconnect, to be honest. Mentos is into the pit lane. Oh, and actually Mentos has crashed in the pit lane wall.
Oh my god.
Mentos has crashed into the pit lane.
Yeah, that might be another safety car with it.
Everyone's safety car's still out.
Oh, I know. Well, you know what I mean, like an extra lap.
Yeah. No, everyone's jumped back on. It won't be. It won't be.
No, no, never mind. I'm just thinking of real life here.
I don't even know what happened. Mentos was coming into the pit lane. I thought he was coming into the pits. Has he just purely and utterly crashed into the pit lane? If he has, he shouldn't have done that first and foremost because A, this is FRL, and B, you should be professional when you're driving. If he did do that, I really question his role now in the actual league moving forward, because if that was on purpose, and I'm not saying it was, it might have just been a miscalculation into the pit lane, which is probably the more likely option, but if that was on purpose, it's shameful. I know it's under a safety car, but still. You've got 3 laps until the end of the race. If you can't make for the final 3 laps at the end of the race, why race in the first place? Simple as that. Yona leads the way, Remco in second, Montana in third. Tom has just put a crying emoji in the Discord to Lou. So obviously with that bit of contact, obviously that came earlier on in the race between them both. Lou's there in fourth. Tom is out of the race. Tom obviously down there in 19th, out of the race. Unfortunate. I mean, I had him for second, so I think the pressure was already on anyways.
And I had him for third, so we're better off just like... Yeah, no, we're better off just tearing our bingo card and just walking out of that door right now at that point. We're just not good at this, so I'll be amazed as well if anyone in Twitch actually guessed your top 3 with it as well.
Did.
And this would be... It would be interesting. It would be cool though. Like once we see a load of people following as well, and like a load of people following, and all just chatting in and all that. I would love to see everyone else's prediction in top 3, and we can see safety cars coming in this lap, 3 laps, so 24, 25, and DRS as well. This is going to be very important for Jonah. Remco, I think, is going to be struggling on those softs, so it is literally a fight from Jonah to Montana.
Don't discount anyone at this point. Because there's 11 9th. Do not discount him. He's on a fresh set of softs. He's got medium runners in front of him. If he's quick off the line, he is going to be right on the back. Yona goes early. Yona goes early, even before the DRS detection point. And now Remco is going to have to try and come at him down in towards turn number 1. But he's simply not close enough. Barak, I think, is the one rooty down in towards turn 1. The Spaniard actually backs off the throttle, tries to go around the outside line. And actually, it's a very clean restart. But Kazizel already on the back of Bunty. He's all over the back of him like a hot rash. Down the inside line, he absolutely sends it down the inside line. And if that is not move of the season, I don't know what is. That was sensational from Kazizel. He's going to be under pressure though from Harman and behind. Harman now on the back of him, down in towards turn number 3. Please be careful, guys. Well. Bunty's on the outside line as well. And in the end, I think they're going to be all clean. They are all clean.
Bunty's trying to go around the outside, and hopefully we don't get another safety car. And Bunty and Jensen having a bit of a little drift on, to get away with it.
What a move! Down the inside of Davidenko, through turn number 5, and that was an absolute send. And I did say if he got a good restart, he'd be on the back of these guys in no time, and Kazizel's proving me completely and utterly right. Yona leads the way, he's pulling away, mediums are clearly better than the set of softs, Remco's struggling there in second, Montana's on the back of him, Harman is crashing in the castle section, as has Petival, as has Physico. And there's going to be no safety car. No safety car now to the end of the race.
It's race to the finish.
Physico and Petival, I think, have had a collision together. I hope they haven't gone side by side into the castle section and repeated me and Honey Badger, because that is just, well, pure suicide, I think, around this track. Yona leads the way, Remco in second, Montana in third, and now Montana on the back of Remco. This is probably going to be the easiest move you'll see all night, because Montana pulls to the right hand side through the kink of 20. He's going to get the move done. He's going to sail past him. Lulo, watch out for him, because he is closing in on the back in towards turn number 1. Davidenko's been overtaken by Jensen, but with 2 laps to go, Yona leads the way. Montana in second. Lou's into the back of Remco. Lou into the back of Remco. It's an outside curb again that claims another victim. This time through turn number 1. Barak's down the inside line, and Kazizel falls him into the wall, and Lou is into the wall. Kazizel tapped the back of him. To me, though, that was Lou's own doing, because Lou had blocked Kazizel coming through turn number 2 for his own teammate to come through. I know you're helping your teammate, but you've got to be respectful to other drivers. It's as simple as that. I know how frustrating he will be. He's down there in 15. Kazizel couldn't do anything there. He was completely boxed in. For me, that's probably going to be no further action. But there is going to be a penalty coming Lou's way. I pretty much guarantee it as he retires out on track, which is even more disappointing. Kazizel now to the outside line. Through turn number 7. No way around the outside. Barak and Kazizel hit the wall. It is reckless. And now Jensen.
Jensen. Hello.
No! Oh my God!
Jensen gets away with it. Jensen.
What? That is something I didn't do.
That's got to be the move of the century. That is the move of the century.
That is what I attempted to do around the outside of TTG Honey Badger around here, and I didn't manage it. And Jensen has just managed our outside move around the outside of the castle section. I know Kazizel was completely and utterly caught out of that, but Jensen is through and he's into 6th, and that might have been probably one of the wildest moves I think I've ever seen in commentary. Yona leads the way.
Definitely, for sure.
Montana in
That's
second.
amazing.
Montana, though, I think Remco's just hit the wall. I think Remco has hit the wall. He has. Ruti now on the back of Barak, and actually Barak, sorry, is attacking Ruti, but Remco hit the wall. Montana's in for second position here, possibly. Ruti and Barak are going to fight their hearts to their heart's content. Down and towards turn number 1. Nobody's giving an inch. The Spaniard down the inside of the Finn, and he gets the move done. So Barak, who was, of course, second last week, Ruti, who was third last week. This could be quite interesting between them both. Rivalry renewed once again.
Jensen's going to have a look as well.
He will.
As Rudiger actually has no overtake left. Same with Barak as well. And Jensen has 11 to 15%. Jensen's trying to think. Rudiger's literally getting put off. And this is out of nowhere. Jensen was literally a floating ghost. And Jensen is now just like the
inside of turn 7.
hell.
Inside of turn 7, watch this. He's going to be on the inside of turn 7. Is he going to dummy him? No, he waits him behind.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's going to wait to the straight, I think. But, can't take it away. Yona leads the way. Montana there in second. Remco definitely has damage. It's not visible, but he definitely has damage or side pod damage. Something like that. Jensen now is on the back of Ruti. He's not going down the inside of turn 14, is he? Jensen on the inside of Ruti. They get side by side. He's still side by side with them in towards turn 15. He has to back out. Baraka has to back out on the back of Remco. They're in the wall. And Kazizel's in the wall as well. Unavoidable. Yona in the meantime, sorry. It's absolute madness. Yona around the final couple of corners. He's absolutely dealt with the pressure. He has dealt with Montana here tonight. And Yona absolutely deserves this race win. It's going to be a drag race to the line and behind. But Yona will take the win here in Azerbaijan. Montana will get second no matter what. And Barak's on the back of Remco. It's a drag race to the line for third. And Barak nicks it. Barak nicks it. Not like the graphics on the left-hand side. Barak has nicked third position from the back of Remco. Remco will finish 4th. He was definitely behind. I caught that on the stream.
Yeah,
he was definitely behind. It's a timing
glitch.
It's a timing glitch around here. And Barak's finished in 3rd. Remco there in 4th. The stewards will revert the positions. I think there was also a revert maybe further down the field as well. I am speechless in that race. That was carnage. Quite literally.
Oh, yeah,
Bunty gets awarded drive of the day. Game fans, I do not know how. Has he? I think he's finished in the points as well, which is even more remarkable. To the top step of the podium, though, it is QRT Yona at the top step of the podium. The Dutchman somehow has beaten the king of Azerbaijan. And Yona, to me, he absolutely deserved that win. Montana picked up that 3-second penalty, got involved in that instant, and I mean, looking back on hindsight, he got involved in that instant and he still finished second. The best recovery drive he could hope for, I think, in second. Drove a fantastic race, but it is Yona's day, and it is, I believe, the 4th different winner in the first 4 races of the championship.
Yeah, definitely for sure. As I have a look in the championship, with all our race winners at the minute, it's Kazizel who won, then Jensen who won, Lou as our 3rd, and this is our 4th winner. So the 4th winner in the championship, as we now see, it's Jonah, Montana, Remco, Barak, Rudiger, Jensen, Kamel, Bunty, who's get points as well. Very good for the Aston Martin driver. His 8th, not be a lot, but 4. Davidenko, Ham, Kazizel, Ryan, T-Hawk, Henry, if we can scroll down quick enough, Henry, Lou, Physical, Petavor, Mentos, Tom, and Metisi.
And that is the top 20 that did finish. There was quite a few DNFs in the final 3 laps of the race. I'm sure the driving standards will be looked at, of course, as well. I'm going to try and get the top 3 in if I can. I'm just doing this through my iPad right now. And who was the guy that finished in 3rd? It was Remco, wasn't it? No, it was Barak even.
No, it was Barak.
Barak,
it was
yeah.
Jonah for win, as Jonah, after winning, he's got 13 points, but because he won, that puts him up for 25 points. Montana getting second again. Jonah jumps Montana now in the championship standing. So Jonah goes from 13 points to 38 points, what puts him basically right behind Rudiger. but I think he'll drop down as well because other drivers as well. If I have a look back in the stream, can we look back onto Twitch? I'm actually hoping so.
I think you can. It is Barack underscore 12, isn't it? His PSN.
Yes, but it's Barack underscore 12.
Thank goodness, I was going to add the wrong person there for a second. I didn't want to do that. I'm going to add them to the top 3 into the party. They'll probably join a separate party, which means we'll have to go blue screen, transfer ourselves over to that one. But that has been set up now, so we'll wait, of course, for the top 3 to join that party. And no, Yona and Montana will probably be up for an interview. I think Baraka I haven't interviewed in my life. That was carnage, as I say, here in Azerbaijan. Driving standards will get looked at, but my God, we were treated for an absolute cream cracker of a race there. It was carnage, it was a cracker though, and Kazizel's moves on the final lap of the race were simply sensational. Jensen especially ran the outside, even though they got involved in contact. Jensen ran the outside of the castle section. I think will forever go on my mind as probably one of the best overtakes I think I've ever seen. Even if you can't fit 2 cars side by side through there, which Jensen and Kazizel, being the battle that they had, of course, in Jeddah last season, and reminiscing on that, they absolutely deserve to go side by side through the castle section, and they're probably the only 2 drivers that could pull it off because they're so respectful. Kazizel got caught sideways out of turn 7, obviously with Barack's incident coming through turn 7. And that's why Jensen went around the outside of him, and hopefully he will say something about that in the Discord. But we are waiting for the guys to join that party. In the meantime, though, Oliver, I am going to come over to you and ask for your final thoughts and overall driver of the day.
Definitely done really well, and I would have to say I straight away gave driver of the day to Montana, but after making a little mistake, I say driver of the day goes straight to Jonah. Yep. As Jonah has been basically struggling so hard, because the fact that he got 13 points and he was basically the strongest man on the championship, I definitely think he definitely deserved driver of the day, and he got himself up there, rewarded himself as well. So yeah, driver of the day goes straight to Jonah. But the game saved driver of the day goes to Bunty, but I think that's just for the memes.
It is for the memes, but it's probably for TikTok and for Lewis doing that, I think, on TikTok. But there we are. My driver of the day, I've got to agree. I think Yona drove an absolute solid race. He gets my driver of the day vote over Montana, even though I thought Montana's recovery drive was absolutely sensational. I still think Yona deserved that race when he controlled the race, and however he might feel with Montana, the ABS god in behind him, Yona delivered tonight. And if he carries that form up, because I commentate on him in TTML F2 as well. If he carries that form into TTML F2 on Thursday, he could take a lot of beating. Maybe this is his championship fight. Maybe this is his now moment to say, I am a championship contender. And hopefully, as I say, we're going to get them guys in. I'm not sure if they actually have joined the party. I'm quickly going blue screen to check. They haven't joined the party yet. It has been set up, I think, unless I've just totally glitched it or something. But brilliant racing from everyone here tonight, obviously in Baku. We should, as I say, try and get Yona and Montana in. At least, if one of them joins the party, that would probably be best. Unless we go and join the party. Yeah, Yona said he's got no invite. I'm going to hop over to that party and I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Leave this party. I'm just going to go in-game for a second as well. So everyone can now hear me. Good evening to everyone that can hear me right now. I'm just going to set up the other party for everyone at this moment in time. What an absolute mess this is, but there we are. Going to get everyone in. And Barack, of course, finishing in the top 3. Goodbye to everyone in the game. And hello to myself once again, as I've now joined the party. Hopefully Yona and Montana will be able to get in. Chaos in the end of this race. I think Davidenko served that up pretty well, I think. Hopefully, though, we will get the guys in. And now we can speak, of course, to the man who finished in P1. It is QRT Yona. And Yona, I didn't think I'd be saying this. You beat Montana. How does that feel?
Yeah. It feels pretty good, man. I gotta say. Feels
it was
pretty
a
good. Is he in here?
It was a. He is in here.
GG's, man. GG's. I beat you. No, I'm kidding. It was a very, very exhausting race. Opening laps were they were just deadly, man. There's no room for error at all. Make one error and he gains 2/10. I was straight away. My head was going to the pit stop, so maybe a possible undercut. But then when I wanted to pit, he pitted, and everyone else behind me pitted. But that gave me a bit of an advantage in the end, because I was coming out just behind someone who I overtook on the second straight with the DRS, and the whole group behind me, there was like 2 to 3 seconds behind me. They were all behind the like the alt runners, so that I haven't pitted yet. So I knew, okay, this is good for me for like no pressure from behind. And then I had my teammates and more drivers in front of me, which Montana had to go through. So I knew with a little bit of help from those drivers, you know, not giving the position too easily to Montana, I could gain some positions. And then at some point, I don't know what happened exactly or how it happened, but Montana went straight on at turn 3, taking the escape route, which gave me the effective race lead until the first safety car, of course. I'm just straight away going through all the race, man, if you don't mind. Yeah, I knew I had to pit. There was a deal for the first safety car, and the guy in front of me on hards. I made a very daring move on him, but I needed to make that move in order to stay in contention for the win. And at a feisty battle with Remco and Kazizel. I knew Kazizel was on a little bit older tires than me, so. And with the softs of Remco dropping on the end, I knew just with the overtakes I would get the win. But then the second safety car came, and that just messed with my head a little bit. Didn't know what to do at first, but made the right decision. Stayed out. Luckily, Remco stayed out as well. I had a bit of a buffer behind me, and I needed that because the charging legend was behind him, and he got close in the end, but not close enough. And I mean, my first win here in FRL, so I'm pretty stoked, pretty happy.
Pretty happy indeed, and obviously we saw that incident between Mentos and Montana. I think he took too much of the curb, and Montana's came across on the line as well. How did you feel after seeing that, and Montana pretty much going straight on in towards turn number 2? Or turn 3 even, sorry.
I mean, just for myself, it was good, obviously. And for Montana, of course, it wasn't. But I'm sure he did the sensible thing, keeping himself in the race, not bidding it in the wall. So that shows he's a very intelligent driver, which worries me on the other side as well, because I'll have to race him the rest of the season probably. So it's not gonna be easy. But yeah, at first, of course, happy for myself. You have to be happy for yourself in those moments. Can't have a lot of pity. But I mean, I'll probably take a look at it, and I mean, not gonna judge it or anything, but I mean, just a bit unfortunate for Montana, but he still got a P2 out of the full race, so I'm guessing he'll take that anyway, you know.
Yeah, definitely so. I think honestly, it was one of those races where it all got a bit carnage, to be honest. I think that's the best way I could describe this race. Carnage. And obviously you dealt with the pressure the absolute best, and obviously you took the race win as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Oliver, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
Yeah, definitely, Jonah. It was amazing to see you finally back up there with the race, because it's your first win in FRL. Definitely deserved for a driver of the day as well, 100%. And having a look in your championship fight, where you have 13 points, but 25 points and giving you 38, definitely done well. Do you think this is the momentum you need? This is probably is this the energy you need now, and hopefully you can keep it for the rest of the championship?
Definitely, I do have the feeling after this raid I'm in this fight. I'm a bit back though from the lead. I believe it's still Jensen, but I believe I've got the confidence to come back into the fight. I mean, just like today, Jensen can have a race win or a podium every race. So if I'm keeping that luck on my side, I'm getting closer and closer, and just you know, the goal is always for me is winning. So I'd love to win my first championship here at FRL as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But to come back to your question, yeah, I'm confident. I'm really feeling good.
That's perfectly good to hear. It's definitely shown it out there as well, after unfortunately seeing Montana just making that one little mistake, and from that little mistake it went from a little problem to a big problem and definitely made you a lot stronger. So well done to your driver of the day, Jonah.
Thanks man, thanks, appreciate it.
And Jonah, I'm going to ask you 2 questions as well before you go. How do you feel going into next race, of course, in FRL, with it being a sprint and sprint race and a feature race, of course, like we do in TTML, which is around, and I'm trying to find the calendar just to confirm that. I can't find the calendar. Where's the calendar gone?
Red Bull. It's
the
Austria.
Red Bull ring.
Oh, the Red Bull ring.
Is it
Don't
Austria?
you worry.
It is Austria.
I just my goal for Austria is to keep it clean, to be at the front. Don't do any stupid things. Don't get warning for once on that track, because it's one of my least favorite tracks.
One of your least favourite tracks, and I'm going to have to ask this cheeky second question. How do you think you're going to get on in TTML F2 on Thursday around Jeddah?
Pretty good. Maybe not in the qualifying, but I'll be up there in the race, for sure.
Be up there in the race. I will hold you to that word in TTML
F2,
and hopefully we'll see you on the podium as well. Go and enjoy your evening though, Jonah.
A little bit of redemption for last season, you know, today.
Definitely
I think you'll remember it as the day as yesterday.
It is.
Right?
It is indeed.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna enjoy this one. Thanks, man.
Yeah, go and enjoy your evening.
Perfect.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for the comments as always.
You are very welcome.
Thank
indeed.
you, and very welcome.
And we'll now move on, of course, to the man who finished in P2, and it was Montana. And Montana, first and foremost, that incident with Mentos, what happened? Because all of a sudden, commentary, you got caught in the outside curb and it's quite deadly. It looked to me as if Mentos came across on you. Was it just a combination of them both and you couldn't go anywhere?
Yeah, hello. First of all, congrats to Jonah, by the way. That was a stunning race and pace for him. Like, he really earned that. I think even without the incident, I would have had a hard battle with him. And then about that, so I think you missed the overtake. I did a couple of laps early on traffic, exactly that corner, and it worked beautifully.
Yep.
And I just rewatched it with Mentos, so he moved slightly, and then I had to go to the curb and the wall. And to be honest, it kinda is fine for me, because I realized that I got smarter and better at decision making. Like a couple of months ago, I would have just tried to go around tight side still, and then ended up in a wall. But I took the emergency exit, so lesson learned and good confirmation there. And then I think, yeah, it's just unlucky and a bit unnecessary for traffic to fight like that. But obviously they are allowed to, so yeah, I'm not going to report him or anything. I'm just too lazy for that.
Yeah, obviously incidents can and probably will happen. It's Formula 1 at the end of the day. It happens in any form of motorsport as well. But let's talk about your recovery drive, because your recovery drive, I think you were net 6th or net 7th after that incident happened. Safety cars came out. Did you feel like you could have got a podium tonight?
Yes, but then I got a stupid penalty. And to be honest, I knew my pace was awesome, and I had a low wing setup, so most people were using like 7.7, 7.8, and I was using 6.3. So I knew I had a good chance at making overtakes in the straight. But yeah, then I just was in the mix, tried to attack, and then obviously people crashed each other out, and I managed to avoid it like 3 times-ish. So from then onwards it was just about getting the gap from the dying soft runners at the end. Not really a chance of getting victory, but I knew that a P2 was on.
Yeah, P2 was on definitely, and obviously with those soft runners falling apart further behind as well, Remco picking up damage, I think the P2 was pretty much certain, I think, from the penultimate lap of the race, which was good to see. Oliver, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
Yeah, with the time penalty, like you said, the stupid time penalty, did you get given like the normal free warnings, or was it just an immediate time penalty? Because when we saw it, we were very confused on what would time penalty for, because like you took the normal racing like shortcuts, and loads of other drivers done it and they didn't get no pay for it. So what made you randomly get this 3-second time penalty? What you think is nonsense?
Yeah, I think it's just sometimes when you cut it a millimeter too much, you get a warning there, and it was a warning. I cut the exit of the castle twice, the left-handed inside, so I got 2 warnings there quite early on. But I think I would have been fine, but yeah.
Yeah, the exit of turn 1, just a millimeter totally on the curb and you get a warning.
Yeah,
I was on 2 the whole race.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And yet you can take and I was going to say, just to finish off that, and you can take the curb coming through 23 and 24 and not pick up anything. It's in Jeddah.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense. Oliver, go ahead.
And the second question, before James interrupts, do you think you might be able to have a chance next week to also see what you also got in the sprint race? It will be interesting to see, because we know you are pretty fast in like the qualifying section, but how do you think you could do it in 1 lap as well?
I kind of like that pressure and stuff, but the main goal is now just stay in the championship as much as possible while being reserved, and trying to get myself a couple of good deals. Corruption is quite nice in an FRL to get a spot on the grid. So I think the next track is Patstria, so it's going to be a bit more difficult, and it has got some cheeky track limits as well. But we'll see. I'll put in some practice and maybe get a deal, and then I still have no clue how the format is going to work though, but I'm just going to give it my all.
Perfect. And like I said, like, how do you feel with the Red Bull ring as well? Is it like the same like strength for you? Do you think you're more comfortable on that track, or do you feel like you're going to struggle with Jonah as well?
I think pace-wise I should be around there. It's not a strong track for me, but I probably have to figure something out in the setup again. Maybe 5-something wings, so really low, just so I have a chance in the race. But when on pace it's always so close, so it's just about getting the consistency and the laps together, and then I should be up there.
Perfect. Cheers. Thank you so much, James Ed. Anything else you would like to add on?
Nothing from me. Go ahead and enjoy your evening, Montana.
Thank you. Me too.
And I think we can now speak to the man who claims he's in P3. He's finished in P4 looking at the graphics, even though they've glitched on the left-hand side. But we'll do an interview anyway. So there's Remco, of course. And Remco, you drove phenomenally well. Of course, that safety car was your saving grace, I think, in that race. Talk us through the race from your perspective, because you drove very, very well.
Wait, what did you say?
I'm saying talk us through your race, because you drove very, very well.
Yeah, thank you.
GG's.
Thank you. It was a good race. In the qualifying I crashed in the pit wall. It's unfortunate and of course very stupid, so I needed to start in P11. So I chose the medium tires just to go for an other strategy than the top 10 does, in hope that maybe a late safety car came out so I could pit for the softs, and that's exactly what happened, and yeah.
And in the end, obviously, you drove, I think, fantastically well, I've got to say, out on track. Just talk us through, though, that run to the line, that agonising run to the line between you and Barack, because it looked to us in commentary as if he got you. The timings then glitched and put you in third. So what happened? Because you feel that Barack crossed a pit lane line, I'm guessing, somewhere?
I think he crossed because I gave him space when I saw he was on the left side of me, so I immediately went a bit to the right to give him the space. But I think he may have crossed the little white curb you have at the pit entry when the track splits from the pit lane entry, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so he was on, I think he was on the left-hand side, pretty much where the pit wall was, and he's probably put one wheel or two wheels over that little left white line.
To be honest, I hope so, but...
Yeah, I think the stewards will probably look into that, because they might deem it obviously being part of the racetrack, or they might not. It depends really what the rules and regulations are here. But regardless, I think you drove fantastically well. Probably your best result of the season. Hopefully more to come.
Yeah, my first points, so...
Very good result, as I say. Oliver, I'm going to come across to you, though. Any questions for Remco?
Yeah, definitely. You've done really well to get yourself into, well, for not scoring any points, this has probably been a big achievement for you, and getting yourself into 3rd/4th. I don't want to say where I think you finish or not, because this will be investigated from the steward, but at the end of the day, even if you finish 3rd or 4th, still high points and a very high potential, because we look at your little championship standing, you unfortunately got 17th, and then you got P11 in round 2, and that was in Saudi Arabia, so 1 point off. But getting a load of points, let's put you in the top 10. Probably like top 10 to top 12. And it's pretty good to see you get yourself up there. So, really well drived. And what do you think you gave yourself this motivation just to get yourself up there? Because you've done absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I knew I had the pace, but first of all, Imola wasn't my favorite track. Bahrain, just an unlucky incident. And Saudi Arabia, I lost my front wing in the sometimes, so that was a bit stupid and unfortunate by me. So I decided to just today practice very good for the race, and I was hoping to get a very nice result. This turned out P3 or P4. We will see what it will be, but overall it's very good.
Perfect. And also, the next race will be in the Red Bull Ring with the new format of the sprint qualifying. As we all are aware, with the real Formula 1, they actually do their proper qualifying on Friday. And the fact that when they do it, it's going to be proper different for us. It's not the fact that we're going to be doing a 15%, then a 25%. We're actually going to be doing it from, they have a 1 lap shootout, what adds a lot of pressure on the drivers.
Yeah.
How do you think you are with just a 1 lap shootout?
Yeah, I think I will just invalidate the lap, because in my quali lap I'm always pushing as hard as I can, even in my banker lap, so...
And
or I will have a very good qualifying, or maybe a spin or an invalidation will set me at the back of the grid. We will see how it ends. So
definitely, for sure. And like we've seen yourself as well with the 50% race, you were from P11 and you used basically everything in your good strategies, good call outs and everything.
Yes.
Do you think that will work with the 25% as well? Because I know everyone's going to be doing a 1 stop, and like it's still the same thing with a 1 shootout as well. Do you think if you've gone on the mediums for this 1 shootout and you do really well with that, do you think then that could try and give you a little advantage on the softs and try and push yourself a little bit further up that grid to get a perfect start on the grid?
To be honest, I don't think so, because I think everybody will just be in a huge DRS train. It's Austria. You have 3 DRS zones right behind each other and everybody will overtake right there. So there will be a huge train, and if you're gonna pit later or earlier, I think you will lose a lot of time to the other guys, because you won't have anybody else who you can play DRS games with.
Well, that's perfect to hear every question from you, Remco. Hopefully they do solve out this slash P3 to 4, but at the end of the day, a perfect drive and getting yourself on high up that grid as best you can. Hopefully, James, have you got any more questions?
Nothing from me apart from Remco. Go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Very welcome indeed.
Very welcome.
And that rounds us off here tonight for FRL F1. Big thank you, of course, to Yona, to Montana, and to Remco for the interviews. Much appreciated, as always. Hopefully, though, we're going to be getting back to the swing of things next week. Reminds me, I've got to save 2 doses of settings next week instead of 1, so I'll do that off camera. But obviously, we have got sprint qualifying. It's basically like TTML. If you've ever seen TTML, the sprint races there, it is one-shot qualifying, 25% race, so that will mean it's going to be an 18-lap race, and then it is going to be full 36-lap race in the feature race, and that will, of course, the 25% race will determine the qualifying for the grid order for the feature race. Get it? I'll probably explain more next week when I'm actually not too tired right at the end of the stream. I'll stop the stream a little bit early just to confirm that, of course, next week. Big thank you, though, to Oliver once again for joining me in the comment box. It is an absolute pleasure as always. I think we got up to 17 or 18 viewers at one point, live concurrent viewers, which is really good indeed on the channel. Hopefully we can build that, of course, as the weeks go along. It's only the second week, and I'm praying, fingers crossed, I'm going to press refresh in a minute or so's time when I end this stream, and the stream is going to be there so I can upload it onto YouTube tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed for that. If it doesn't, I'm sorry in advance. Big thank you, though, to everyone, of course, raced here tonight, and we have got more action to come for you next week, of course. The spring qualifying and the feature race, of course, in FRL F4 and F3. That is going to be at 7 PM UK time, of course, on Monday. And also, you could be seeing me in the commentary box for one of them, possibly, as well, because it's PSGL break week, so I'm off for a week, which is handy, and I can help out the streams for F4 and F3 if needs be. Anyways, I'm waffling on. F2 and F1 obviously tomorrow, next week, as I say, on Tuesday, and that is at 7 PM UK time as well. Hopefully you can tune in for that. That is us done. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.